Thanks for staying with us on the conversation. We just finished discussions on the approved NDDC budget by the Nigerian Senate. And right now, we're still in Nigeria, where the Presidential Elections Petition Tribunal sitting in the nation's capital, Abuja, has adjourned the pre-hearing proceedings of the opposition Labour Party to May the 19th. The tribunal was supposed to adopt documents and answers to questions raised in the applications filed by the petitioner and the respondents to the petition. However, this was not the case, as counsel to the Labour Party candidate accused Nigeria's Electoral Body of refusing to grant them access to inspect election materials.
Now, this did not go down well with the councils representing the nation's electoral body, the ruling All Progressive Congress and the president-elect, who accused the Labour Party team of councils of refusing to follow laid-down procedures and refusing to pay for documents needed. The tribunal urged all parties to reconcile their differences, respond to questions raised in the applications filed, and agree on documents expected to be tendered during the course of the proceedings and meet again on May the 19th. There was also a small brouhaha, a mild drama, as the factional or acting chairman of the Labour Party, Mr. Lamidi Apapa, was booed out of the court. Now, join us for analysis on this. Now, join us to discuss this and more is Associate Professor of Mass Communication Department in the University of Lagos, Dr. Tayo Popoola. A warm welcome to you, Dr. Popoola, and thanks for joining us on the conversation.
Yeah, good evening.
Now, Dr. Popoola, what do you make of the events that transpired today at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, especially the scenes you just witnessed on your screen with the factional chairman of the Labour Party, Mr. Lamidi Apapa, booed out of the venue?
Well, thank you very much. This is politics. That is my first reaction to it. This is politics. And in politics, anything can happen. That is the first statement. Second statement, it's equally part of the game. You know, politics is a game. It's not unusual to find developments like this on the political top at a critical moment like this. This is a critical moment in which APC is trying to do everything possible to come out victorious, you know, at the tribunal. And it will equally be part of the game plan to disorganize the opposition party, to disorganize the Labour Party, that if they don't organize themselves very well politically, they will not be able to pose any formidable threat in their political interest. So it's part of the game, it's part of politics, it's part of strategies.
Okay, looking at all of this brouhaha going on with the Labour Party and the Election Petition Tribunal, there was an issue that the Labour Party raised, and which was the fact that INEC had not allowed them to view the election materials. On the other side, INEC and the APC said that they did not follow laid down procedures for them to view the election materials. How do you see this whole situation from the INEC, the Labour Party, with different versions of the story of the viewing of the election materials, especially at this critical point where petitions have been raised at this pre-hearing for the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal?
Yeah, thank you very much. INEC is an umpire. As an umpire, it has to be fair-minded to all the political parties. And as far as this case is concerned, it's a case that then not only Nigerians are watching, but the international community, they are equally watching. So it is the request of the Labour Party is legitimate, it's legal, it's normal, it's proper, it should be expected. And INEC should not give anybody any impression that they are under, you know, any force or being teleguided, you know, on what they are doing. And as far as this case is concerned, Labour Party is a major stakeholder. So if they request that they would like to inspect any of the voting materials, INEC in the interest of justice, fairness, and fair play, should oblige them to inspect the election materials.
Now, Dr. Popoola, INEC is saying they're not following laid down rules and procedures, and they refuse to pay for these documents that they see. We've also seen a lot of bickering and back and forth in courts. It's almost like the courts is still a political ground, and we've seen adjournments of this Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. The court has actually asked them to go tidy things up and come back on Friday. Are we expecting, looking at the future now, a long and protracted, a long-drawn Presidential Election Petition Tribunal? Because it seems emotions are very high.
Okay, first and foremost,
we're still in the pre-trial phase, just to add that.
First and foremost, let me say that everything possible must be done to avoid a replay of what happened during the first post-independent elections in Nigeria. That is in reference to the 1964-65, elections in Nigeria. So inconsistencies marked the credibility of that election till today, and it was one of the problems or factors.
Hello, Dr. Popoola, are you there?
I mean, those are very serious issues. We've had adjournment. This is not the first adjournment we're having. I think this is about the second or the third one we had before, yes. And then it was moved to May 17 and now May 19. Okay, I think we have Dr. Popoola with us. Can you hear us?
Pardon?
Okay, go on, please.
You were saying something earlier before we lost your audio connection, Dr. Popoola. Can you complete your statement, please?
Yes, the point I was making is that everything possible must be done to avoid a replay of what happened during the first post-independent election in Nigeria. That election was marked by inconsistencies on the part of the electoral umpire at that particular point in time. So at this particular point in time, we should learn from history, and we should avoid a repeat of what discredited the previous elections we have had in the country, from the first post-independent election to the last election in 2019. That is number one. Number two, the election, this case, I see it that as a case that will be pursued to a logical conclusion. So, irrespective of the number of adjournments that the tribunal can give, the entire world community, they are looking forward to see how this case will be handled. And I will just appeal to the tribunal to do justice and to let Nigerians and the international community to see that actually justice has been done to the petitions before the tribunal.
Okay, Dr. Popoola, at this point, I think most Nigerians and fans of the Labour Party are looking for a united front. We're seeing a factional chairman, Lamidi Apapa. We also see another chairman in Julius Abure. What do you think would be the next course of action for the Labour Party to put its house in order? Because no matter what, whether there are allegations that there are sleeper cells of the APC or the APC trying to stole the party or put the party and make the party disorganized, what should be the next course of action for the Labour Party, especially with the petition tribunal right on the line?
The Labour Party, I believe they know what to do. They expect things like this. It is not the first of its kind in the country. So the Labour Party should be able to rise to the occasion by putting their house in order. And the allegation against the party chairman, it could be part of the game, like I said earlier on. I'm not surprised. The party should investigate it, and then they should be decent in their approach, like what we saw on the screen earlier, because the international community, like I said, they are watching everything that we do. We cannot give the world the impression that we are an organized, group of people.
Thank you very much for your contribution and insight, Dr. Tayo Popoola, Associate Professor, Mass Communications Department, University of Lagos. It was a pleasure having you join us in the conversation.
Thank you very much. God bless you.